Ready, go! Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the Linton Hall Fife and Drum Corps from Bristow, Virginia. They're part of the Linton Hall Catholic School. We're proud to have our principal and our chief operating officer with us today, Liz Poole and Mary Finnegan. The Linton Hall Fife and Drum Corps was formed in March of 2000. And over the last 15 years, many of our young people have gone on to pursue careers in music. We're proud, most importantly, of instilling in them the appreciation of being an American, the dignity and honor to be part of this wonderful country and to be free in this great democracy. The kids have performed in many venues over the years, including the Robert Trent Jones President's Cup. We had the privilege to perform for George Herbert Walker Bush and also for President Clinton. We performed at Mount Vernon. We performed at Dulles Airport, the Air and Space Museum at Dulles. And for many political leaders, especially Sean Connaughton, who was not only Supervisor of Prince William County, but Secretary of Transportation for the state of Virginia. We're honored to have the privilege to be with you today. Our young people are from kindergarten through the 8th grade. Ladies and gentlemen, with pride, the Linton Hall Fife and Drum Corps.
President Washington here. There's a giant. We had the, wondered if he, yes, there's giant President Washington, of course. We were going to have him. But we've had the privilege now of performing for several giant presidents, too. That was, of course, Yankee Doodle. And I'm going to tell you a little story about Yankee Doodle. Yankee Doodle has a history that goes back before the Revolution. 20 years before the Revolution, American colonial troops were fighting alongside the British regular army in a war called the French and Indian War. And the British Army, of course, was the most well-appointed professional army in the world. But the Americans, the colonials, by comparison, were disheveled, disorganized, and they were farmers fighting alongside the British Army. And so the commander, whose name was Thomas Fitch, Captain Fitch, his sister Elizabeth said something had to be done. So she presented each soldier in the regiments with a chicken feather to put in their hats to give them a more uniform appearance. Well, a British Army surgeon there thought that these farmers with their hats with chicken feathers looked ridiculous. He took a nursery rhyme called Lucy Locket and changed the lyrics. And you know the lyrics now. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. A doodle was a bumpkin, a simpleton, and macaroni was fashionable. And so these farmers didn't look so fashionable in his eyes. So the original Yankee Doodle was Thomas Fitch, but the Americans liked the song and used it as their unofficial national anthem for a long time. It is today the Connecticut state anthem also. That's the most popular song, or most well-known song, played on fife and drum. But here's the second most well-known song. I'm sure you'll all recognize it. It's been used in movies and in cartoons. In fact, it was in the first Bugs Bunny cartoon when Bugs Bunny defeats Elmer Fudd for the first time. He marches away stiff-legged, like the fifer in the picture Spirit of 76, and he plays this on his carrot. And it's called The Girl I Left Behind, or The Girl I Left Behind Me. And if you listen, there's also another song stuck in the middle. It's a French-Canadian song, La Belle Catherine.
Ladies and gentlemen, while they're inspecting the troops, thank you so much. While they're inspecting the troops, just want to let you know that there are some of us here that are not in Linton Hall School, but we're their instructors. We're part of the American Originals, which is a fife and drum corps that's been around since 1991. And we're very proud to have our feeder corps at Linton Hall. If you notice the gentleman with the gray hair, he's their drum instructor. The opposite side is his son, who is also one of the drum instructors. Members of the fife line are former students at Linton Hall and are proud to be here today to perform for you.
Next up we have a fife and drum standard called Old 1812. It was very popularly played during the American Civil War and harkened back to the War of 1812. Some of you, when you hear this, you might recognize it from a movie. It was the theme song to a Clint Eastwood movie, The Outlaw Josie Wales. It's going to be played as a solo by Roy Wolf, who's been playing quite 1 year now. So right ahead. Old 1812.
Traditional fife and drumming and give you a taste of what our drummers can do. High execution, modern drumming.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play.
We're going to have our drum instructor tell you a little bit what it takes to become a drummer and be a member of the Fife and Drum Corps.
Thank you. My name's John Marshall. I'm their drum instructor. As you can see, the kids don't play traditional beginning drum stuff. If you've ever taught kids before soccer, baseball, or anything like that, imagine working with this many drummers playing an instrument designed to be played outside, inside. It's like sort of herding cats, but it's great because the kids really do a phenomenal job in learning and all of that. Basically, what I'd like to do is give everybody an opportunity to learn something that's pretty cool. Back in the day, all drumming stuff that we're playing are called rudiments. There are 34 American rudiments and a whole lot of Swiss rudiments that I'm not even going to begin to go into. The first rudiment that you guys can try is what you do is you take your hands and put them on your knees. Just like this, and I'll show you a rudiment, okay?
Put your hands on
It's going to be pretty cool. It's called a paradiddle. All right, the way you'll play it is you'll go right, left, right, and then you go left, right, left. So all these kids here in this line, they learn rudiments every single day playing with me. And what we do for all the songs are a combination of rudiments, okay? So we're going to try the paradiddle. It goes like this. Right, left, left, right, left, right. Gradually get faster. Another rudiment it's called a six-stroke roll. I call it the Bosworth because when I was in high school, about a million years ago, he showed up. He was a drummer for the Air Force Band here in Washington, D.C. And he was old then. He was like 40. So when he showed up, we saw this old guy with gray hair, and we're like, this guy can't do anything. So he showed us this rhythm called the six-stroke, which is right, left, left, right, left, right. That's one. So. Try to play just the accents. So you're going to play. Right? say, before there was really written drum music, okay, a lot of people don't realize that there's drum written music. There's drum written music for every single percussion instrument. Back in the day, what they used to do, the different rudiments were designed for military troop movements. So the different rudiments meant that for them to do different things around the battlefield. So the rope drums and the traditional stuff that we're teaching them is really directly correlates with what American history is. And, you know, as many times as we can possibly do a correlation between history and what they're doing, we can do that. The kids, you know, after a long day of work, I go in and I work with these kids, and it just makes me feel young, and it makes me want to play like all the time. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. I appreciate it.
We're now going to change the mood. We're going to jazz it up a bit, and you're going to see some interesting work from our fife line. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is our final tune. We started off with Yankee Doodle. We're going to finish up with the original Yankee Doodle dandy, George M. Cohan. He wrote a song for a 1906 musical, George Washington Jr. it's called. Anyway, the song became the first million-selling song from a musical, but not on a record because there were no phonographs, million sellers at that time, but it was a million seller for sheet music. That's how songs were distributed at the time. This is Grand Old Flag.
If we could ask the national mascots to join us in our last song, please, so that we can have you around our court and we celebrate the Grand Old Flag. We can get the mascots over for our last song. That's perfect. Right behind us would be great.
Teddy! Teddy! Teddy!
Bully, bully.
Bill Ted. Bill Ted.
Did they have that at the